Hello everybody, it's Aeryn. I just wanted to share my craft space with you since it's been since 2013 when I moved in here that I shared my space. This is where I craft and where I play my video games and whatnot. It's a 6.5 by 3 feet corner of our kitchen, actually. Behind me is the fridge and everything. Here's our mini fridge and our microwave. Let's start from this side and go all the way around. There's my garbage can, and that's where I keep my Copic refills. This is my desk. See the whole thing there? It's actually kind of too big for me. Like this whole part here I don't really need. But I'm trying to focus for you. It's really hard to see on this photo. You'll have to forgive me if I run out of breath. I haven't done my medicine so I wouldn't shake the camera, but of course now I can't breathe. So I don't technically need this spot, but it's good to, like, you know, have a place to dry things, and I didn't want the shorter desk. This is the Alex where I keep most of my important stuff. And I wish this thing had autofocus. So we've got stuff like, there we are. See, you can see it now. We got stuff like my ATG gun, my archival ink, my my tiny 6x4 trimmer. There's my computer tower. This is my favorite drawer. This is where I keep all my dots. Every single bag on there is enamel dots, all done by color. I have a lot of dots. And then I've got my Faber-Castell Pitt pens and the markers, or not markers, like liner pens. I've got my corner cutters, corner rounders. And back here is like little random chipboards and tags that I've made to put on things. And below that, we have, oh look, my photos are a mess. You've seen a mess. Okay, so these are my photos that are already printed out. These are my photos that are already printed out. And then you see flowers that I got at the Prima warehouse sale. And these are random stickers and like die cuts and little packages like that. And you see my, what do you call that stuff? Twine? Yeah, twine. That's my little tiny twine collection in there. And below that, I have my drawer of embossing stuff. So those are my embossing folders, my metal dies, my actual embossing powders, and some of my most used punches, like the shapes. You can see the square there, and circles and stuff like that. There you go. And then in the bottom, guess what's in the bottom? These are all of my flowers. Isn't it pretty? It would be pretty if it were focused. There. Oh, look how pretty. This is my favorite drawer, and I really need to use this drawer more because I do love it so much. Sometimes I just open it and be like, oh, it's so pretty, and then I close it again. But it's so dimensional. I need to have like the proper thing for it, you know. Okay, so we're going to close that. We're going to go over here. Here's my desk, blah, blah, blah. Pan out a bit. This is over on the side. I'm going to move my chair. I'm sorry if I bump you guys. My chair is in the way. And these are my Copics. And my colored pencils. I've got the Faber-Castell Polychromos as well as the Pablos in there. I'm sorry about that. If you don't already know, I have cystic fibrosis and it's really hard for me to breathe. So not doing my medicine and then talking and doing all this, it's a little difficult for the breathing wise. I have a second Alex unit over here, and I don't know why I'm turning the camera, I'm sorry. If I go like this, you can see the second one, and you see all there's my nebulizer right there. And all the cords and stuff I have under here. That's the cat bed that's actually my service dog uses, because they stole each other's beds. And here's the first drawer of this Alex unit. I love this one too, it's so pretty. See if I can get it to focus for you. There. Maybe. If I was using an actual video camera, this would be easier, but I'm using my husband's 20D. Or 5D. So these are my gelatos. And there you go. These are my gelatos. I've got my alcohol inks here. I've got the 3 big gelatos that I bought. They're super nice, and I got them in the colors that I use the most. So I've got the purple. These are my H2Os, twinkling H2Os. I've got enamel stuff. Like, these are, what's that called? Enamel accents. These are great because it's like super white and super black. Back there in that tiny thing, you can see that's where my 2 little handle things are for the embossing, no, the ink pads. And then these are all my distress inks. I have the whole thing until he releases new ones this year, so I'm gonna have to fit them in here somehow. In the second drawer, we see another Happiness of Color. This is all of my washi. So I put it in an embroidery floss container, and I just took the top off of it. I actually broke the top off of it. It was kind of violent. These are some water-based markers, like, so I can color on stamps and stuff, and have it stamp like that, which I thought was interesting. They were pretty cheap at a expo, so I bought those, and they're pretty good. I mean, they're not like for blending or anything. These are all my stickles. So I have all of them in here by color. None of them are duplicates. I've got like the 3 or 4 big ones and another thing I'll show you. And then this is all of my ribbon, except for the Halloween ribbon, that's elsewhere. And in the next one, this is my little Antonius, whatever you call it, at IKEA. It's my little tray for my Project Life stuff. Focus, there we are. And I keep all the little embellishments in here, as well as, you know, my mailing stuff. And all the cards, the leftover cards from when I was a member of a club. These are card blanks for making actual cards. And then these are homemade embellishments that I made from punches and stuff. So I keep those in there in a little baggie, just in case I want to use them on layouts or something. And in here, this is a fun drawer too. This is just, sorry. It's just a cheap watercolor palette. But I have acrylic paints. I have India inks in 2 of those. I need one of those fridge bins. It'll probably fit in there. I have my travel watercolor thing. In there is all my distress markers. This like circular container. It used to have cookies in it, but now it's got all the distress markers. And again, until he releases more, and then I'll have to find somewhere else to put them because they're not going to fit in there. And then these are my Delusions ink sprays. So I've got all of them. At least I think I have all of them. But they're all in there, and there's room for more, so that's good. And in the bottom, which won't actually open properly, I've got punches, and it'll open if I take all these cords and stuff out, but you really don't need to see more than that. It's just mostly seasonal punches, border punches, that kind of thing. So nothing super special. You can see I'm wearing 2 different kinds of socks. Okay, up here is more fun stuff. Some of my favorite things, which I'm going to focus on for you eventually. There you go, focus. Okay, these things I absolutely love. They were $3 each at Walmart, and they're just bead containers. And so I don't have beads in them. Like, this one is all wood veneers, and I have so many stickers, or not stickers, sequins. These are all sequins, and then these are enamel dots that I've made. I'll show you my little oven thing. I have one. And I've got, I'm going to try and do this one-handed. I'm really sorry for this. I would have unpacked it, but then you wouldn't have seen the way it is normally. This is my favorite one. Look at how rainbow that is. Isn't that so pretty? And then the last one of sequins. And then these are all random embellishments. I don't have a whole lot of random embellishments, but like, I keep getting flair from places, so I have to figure out how to put flair on cards or something to get rid of it. And like jewels, I think that's what those are called. Get those at the expos and stuff for really cheap, and so I put those on cards, and little paper clips and card candy and stuff like that. All goes in there, and then of course you can tip it over and shake it around and do whatever you want with it, and it doesn't go anywhere. So I love them because you can't screw it up, you know. And then this is embroidery floss and ribbon and stuff that was given to me by an online friend of mine. See? she wanted to get rid of her stash, so she pared it all down and put it in an embroidery floss thing and shipped it to me for my art projects. How sweet is that, right? Okay, I'm going to move these a bit because I want to show you what's in the next box. So, shove those over. Alright, we're just going to pull open the top of these. These are my Halloween boxes. So this is where all the Halloween stuff lives. There we go. So I'm just going to pull it open so you can see in it. I've got one of those trays that's supposed to go in the iris containers. And I put that in there, and I took all of my stickers and all of my Halloween embellishments and all of that. I took it all out of the package and I put it in the tray. And then underneath the tray, I put underneath the tray, there we are. Underneath the tray, I put bigger stickers, I put some Halloween washi, and I put Halloween ribbon and stuff underneath, and then it all fits nicely in here. And the reason that there's two, oh, that does not want to close. I will fix that later. The reason that there's two is because there's Halloween stamps in there too. The second one is Halloween stamps. And in this one, there's all Christmas stuff. Now the Christmas stuff is all Christmas paper and Halloween, or not, Christmas paper, Christmas stamps, and Christmas stickers. There you go. I got Halloween on the brain. These are my mixed media journals and my sketchbooks. I had to label them because they look exactly the same because they're by the same company and they're awesome. I absolutely love them. Let's see, the company is, what is the company? I don't know what the company is. Ah, Stillman and Burn. There you go. Probably can't see that. You can't see that. Sorry. It's a Stillman and Burn though. And they're all different series and they're all awesome. And this, you can see in here. I'm also not going to take that down because it's gigantic and you really don't need to see that. These are 6x6 papers, all done by color. This apparently got put in backwards the last time I took it down, so this is actually the end of it. But yeah, the red's all the way over there. Done by color, and then these are the ones that are still in pads. Because what I had was I had a bunch of paper I wanted to purge, and I'm like, I probably shouldn't purge it. I should probably try and use it. So I cut it all down from 12 by 12 and I put it in 6x6 and I put it in this container, and I'm actually sort of using it. Like I'll go and I'll search by color, since as you'll see my paper's not actually done by color. So there's that. Up here, focus. There you go, focus. Okay, up here is my silhouette and my regular, you know, just general printer in that little green box thing. Let's see, we can look at that if you want. It's nothing really spectacular, especially since I'm not focused on it. Is images that I've already printed out, and some of them I've colored. Look at that, that needed to go on cards. Images that I've already colored or printed, so that when I want to color something, I don't necessarily have to go to my computer and be like, oh, let's see what I want to print out, because I can just look through the box first. And I used some of my favorite Halloween paper for that, so that was fun. Okay, and the next one, let me sit down because my back's gonna hurt. Okay, this is my paper. Isn't it pretty? You can't even see it, right? Because I store it in these paper page planner organizers, and you can put like, what can you put in there? You can put embellishments and stuff in there, like this is my Valentine's one. And then it's got all the paper in it too. And it's got little card organization stuff. And so that's by theme. So I've got like, I have like Easter and Valentine's right there. So there's like just a few of those. And then here are the stash kits that I make. My friend Margaretta, she has a stash kit, like Facebook group and website and everything. She's like crazy with it. It's pretty cool. So I make kits sort of based on her kits. If you look on my website, I even have a thing, a tag for her kits. So when I make one, you can see what I make with it. So I have a couple of those, and then this is my glass mat, which I don't actually need. These are all my stencils. I keep my stencils in here because that way they don't get hurt. and silhouette mat, and then the rest of it is paper. Now this says Echo Park because I used to have it like labeled, but there's probably more than Echo Park in there. It's all by collection, so it's not, they're not necessarily full, and there's not really that many papers in most of them. And I keep the, here you can see, like here's the paper, right? And I keep the scraps in the back of it, so I don't have a scrap folder. It's all just like in there, and yeah, it doesn't get put in the back in the same place. So there's no scrap folder, and I can always just find what I need. And here's kind of the same idea, except this is all cardstock with cardstock scraps. That's 8.5 by 11. If I cut into it, it goes into one of those. Focus. There you go. Over here, these baggies are actually my Halloween paper. This is really hard to do when I can't see you guys while doing this. I'm really sorry. This is Halloween paper, and then the scraps are in the baggies too. I got the baggies from a gal on my message board. She was getting rid of them, and I honestly didn't want to have to buy new stuff. They were a little oversized, but I just taped on the back. Okay, here's where I keep my stamps. What I've done is I use transparency sheets, and I put all my stamps on the transparency sheets, and then I put them in these files like this. And so you can see on the back there, the transparency sheets are all stacked up onto it. Blah. Try and do that. And then I ink the whole thing, and then I stamp it onto some printing paper, and then I put it in an 8.5 by 11 page protector, and I put it in here. And I label it, so you've got, you know, butterflies, hearts, stars, backgrounds. And then if you look in here, there's, you know, birds, butterflies, hearts, stars, and backgrounds. So easy to find, right? And this one's nature, so you've got all nature-y stuff, and the clear stamps go first. And then, oh, see, sometimes it falls over because it's just a IKEA bin. And then, you know, like all the way back here, you've got, like, these are the boy stamps, so that's neat. And I've got my Copic paper on the side, so in case I want to color it in Copics, I can just print it right there. Or stamp it right there. Below that one is this one, which is just, oh, sorry, my heat gun and my extra glue, my selfie photo paper and stuff like that, and envelopes and stuff like, you know, it's just normal office-y type stuff. And I got some chipboard over there too, the Meyer Road chipboard. So that's nice. Close that like that. That's how I close it anyway. In here, I have, this thing is filled with actual beads, like for, what do you call it, like bracelet making and stuff like that. These are my art journals. This is my entire Pitt pen collection. Look at how gorgeous that is, right? These are buttons. So all the button pins I have. You see the plates for my Cuttlebug art journals. And then back there, these are fun. These are the pads. Making you sick, aren't I? These are the pads for the distress inks. And I can't focus with one hand, I'm sorry. So I went... Why does it not want to focus? I went and I put the distress markers, or the distress ink on the bottom of it, and then I used Velcro to stick the pad on there. And whichever color I need, I just look at this, pull it off, and then stick it right back on. Because I've only got like one tool, two tools. So I just get to switch out the pads like this. And we're going to leave that messy. We're going to close that one. And below it is completely uninteresting. You've got the case for my clay. You've got, in that little binder here with the numbers on it, those are just club scrap old stencils. Like, they're not really fancy or anything, but I don't want to get rid of them or anything. That's all my Cricut stuff. So it's the cartridges, the overlays, and the, like the pens and all that extra stuff. It's all in there. I don't really use it because, you can see, my Cricut is actually here in my Cameo box. It's still in my space, so if I need it, I can get to it, but it's right there. And it's been in there since I got my Cameo. And that's my trimmer. In here is my melting pot, which you could probably read for yourself. And below that is my iTop with all the thingies to do it. I don't really use my iTop anymore, but I have the space, so what's the point in getting rid of it? And over here in this little corner is my 2 Copic cases that I use for traveling with my Copics and traveling with like art supplies. I can put in this one, the second one. And it's got fur on it, sorry. So that way I can, you know, go traveling and, you know, to my parents' house and my in-laws and stuff like that and still have art stuff. And below it, you can barely see it, but is my little toaster oven for when I make clay stuff and when I make the enamel dots, because you don't want to make that in your food oven, because guess what? All those fumes, they go right back into your food. So I put that outside and then I melt them, and it's nowhere near food, which is good. Over here is where I keep my empty canvases and my filled ones, which you haven't seen yet because it's not finished. But yeah, those are all my canvases. And then this is my table with my Skyrim book and a month worth of meds. So, yay, look at all the medicine. Isn't that fun? And there's my outgoing mail. So, I think that's about it. Let me turn around for you so I don't make you sick. I'm going to make you sick anyway. There you go. Alright, so that's my space. I mean, it's not huge. I don't have a ton of stuff, but I do have a good amount. So, that's always good. I got enough to work with. And, you know, you can see my 2 lights there for when it gets dark, and obviously you can see the camera changing by how much light you get from the outside. So yeah, that's it. I hope you like it, and I hope I didn't cough too much at you. And I hope it wasn't too blurry. I'm so sorry. And I just want to thank everybody that has subscribed, and you know, you guys have been really great to me, and I so much appreciate all the support. And I hope to be able to provide really good videos for you in the future. Alright, this is Aeryn. Please visit AerynKelly.com. Thank you.